believe that the federal government will act to preserve the evidence that's necessary for a complete, total, and transparent review of what took place over the weekend. Concerned enough that they've sought a restraining order from a judge telling law enforcement to do what we always expect law enforcement to do: preserve evidence, make sure it's not contaminated, make sure that it's not tampered with, and to make sure that it is preserved in its entirety, so that when an after-the-fact investigation takes place, the truth and fact come out. Forensics will be employed, people will be able to see what happened, and then there will be a finding that people can hear and learn and not have to rely upon what this person said, that person said, what a video didn't look like. It's important for the integrity of the investigation. And getting back to what you asked, it shows that unfortunately there is this friction and distrust between state and locals and federal authorities.
urukiko kugira ngo ijye igendera ku mategeko.
Traditionally, what happens is, in a case like this, where there's a homicide, state and local investigate. They cooperate with the federal authorities.
In Oklahoma, there is a storm. There is Texas' biggest snow total since 1995. U.S. winter storms bring snow bitter cold to millions. Muri Leta y'Amerika, muri Oklahoma hakaba hari ubukonje bwaherukaga mu 1905.
And continues to impact so many people, and now it's the race against time to interesting graphic to show you. My wonderful producer together, and it shows the areas where the power outages are currently located. You can see that across the deep south, right? Anywhere from Mississippi into Tennessee, the U.S. state of Tennessee, Louisiana as well. That's part of the area that saw some of these crippling ice storm totals. But on top of that is the below average temperatures. So you see the Fahrenheit wind chill factor. Let that set in.
Deep freeze digs across upper Midwest Northeast.
For free. We think we would get a break from Mother Nature. Wrong. Unfortunately, we have what's called reinforcing shocks of cold air. With different cold fronts come through, especially into this upcoming, that are going to help lock in these impacts from this previous storm over the eastern half of the United States. So it's going to take a while for the airports to kind of recover from this current storm. And then just when we think, then we've got another cold blast of air that'll come in, and that brings in a whole issues with the icing at the airports. That's of the U.S. population anywhere east of the Colorado Rockies, which go basically north and west from the Canadian border southward towards the border of Mexico. East of there, most of these states have place, and that's encompassing over 200 million Americans. So that's how we don't expect the mercury to climb above the 0 degree Celsius mark anytime soon for some of the hardest hit areas. James?
So big storm in United States. Flight gradually resume after storm exit mid-Atlantic. So many flights cancelled due to the storm. Sunday was the worst day for flight cancellation in United States since the pandemic. Many flights will gradually resume after storm exit. So this is news around the world. At least 17 killed as winter storm brings disrupt to US and Canada. Israel says recovered to remain of last Israeli hostage from Gaza. UA investigate Elon Musk's X over Grok AI. French debate under 15 social media ban endorsed by Macron. Some of headlines: ending his border TSAR Tom Minnesota. Israel recovers last hostage from Gaza. Israel yahawe umurambo cyangwa yavanye umurambo w'umunya-Israel muri Gaza wa nyuma. Ubwo ni umwe mu bari barafatiwe muri Gaza.
On October the 7th, he was resting, recovering after a shoulder operation, but when the Hamas attacks were launched, he answered the call, put himself back on duty and put himself in the line of fire trying to defend a kibbutz. We understand that is when he was shot and killed. His body was taken to Gaza along with 250 others. All of those eventually returned, the last of them late last year as part of the ceasefire deal negotiated with Hamas, but there had been uncertainty about the whereabouts of Rangavili's body. Hamas said that it had offered some intelligence, and over the weekend Israel Defense Forces said it had been able to clarify the information that it had about the whereabouts of his body. It sent a team in to search and recover his remains. They were able to confirm his identity, and his body is at the moment on its way back to Israel to be handed over to his family. It is of course a significant for that family. They have this closure now. They know that their son is alive and they are now able to bury him. But this has a wider significance as well. It marks the end of Israeli hostage agony that has gone on for 843 days since October the 7th. But it also potentially now opens up the route to progressing the Gaza ceasefire. The opening of the Rafah crossing with Egypt is now in play, and Israel says that will be possible later this week in a limited fashion for Palestinians to move back and forward in and out of Gaza, although albeit in limited numbers. And then there are the other issues to confront to enact phase 2 of the Gaza ceasefire. This is a positive in that regard, even though Rangavili, his body has been returned today. By some, the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that this was an extraordinary achievement. He said, we promised and I promised to bring everyone back, and we brought everyone back to the very last one. Some will criticize how long it has taken to achieve this milestone. Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel's military into Gaza, saying that his two key aims were the return of hostages of Hamas. Until today, neither of those had been achieved. Disarming Hamas and the future of security and the rebuilding of Gaza are all part of progressing the ceasefire, but no doubt there are difficult decisions to make, awkward issues to confront to build a lasting peace.
Murambo, the body of the last prisoner, last person, the body of the person who was in Gaza was brought today in Israel, and the body will be handed to his family. Benjamin Netanyahu said that it is a great achievement as he promised everyone back, so he brought everyone. Umubiri w'umuntu wa nyuma mu gihe Hamas yateraga muri Israel wavanywe muri Gaza usubizwa muri Israel, ukaba uza kugezwa ku muryango we kugira ngo uzabashe kumushyingura mu cyubahiro. Benjamin Netanyahu akaba yavuze ati ibintu byiza kubera ko nasezeranyije abanya-Israel ko abajyanywe bose bazagaruka, kandi uyu ni uwa nyuma nawe aragarutse. Gusa benshi bakaba banenga ko byafashe igihe kirekire kugira ngo abantu bose bagaruke, ati ariko byagezweho. News around the world. News update around the world. News around the world. News around the world. News around the world.
Ce temps mort, nous n'avons pas eu le temps de raconter l'histoire de René, poète, maire avec un
Tim Wards, governor of Minnesota.
L'histoire d'Alex. Ma question est suivante. Quel est votre plan, Donald Trump? Que devons-nous faire pour que ces agents fédéraux quittent notre État? Vous attendiez la peur, la violence et le chaos, mais vous avez clairement sous-estimé les habitants de cet État et de cette nation. Nous sommes fatigués, mais nous sommes déterminés. Nous sommes pacifiques, mais nous n'oublierons jamais. Nous sommes en colère, nous ne perdrons pas espoir. Et par-dessus tout, nous sommes clairement dimanche. Ils étaient...
The governor of Minnesota last night saying that Donald Trump can stop ICE and remove them from Minneapolis, saying that they are angry, but they will be in court. There will be a court hearing about excessive use of force on law enforcement on immigration issue. News around the world. News update around the world. Amakuru agezweho mu ijoro ryahise muri Minneapolis, guverineri wa Minneapolis akaba yavuze ati turababaye kubera ibyabaye, gusa turi abantu bakomeye, kugira ngo abasirikare ba ICE bava ku mihanda muri Minneapolis. Aho muri Iran hari indege yavuye muri Amerika ijya mu bihugu by'Abarabu, hakaba hari umwuka mubi hagati ya Amerika ndetse na Iran. Bikaba byitezwe ko isaha n'isaha Amerika ishobora gutera Iran. Akaba ari ibintu nabyo biri kureberwa hafi. Ayo akaba ari amwe mu makuru agiye agezweho hirya no hino ari kuvugwa, gusa ari kwibanda ku myigaragambyo iri kubera muri Minneapolis kubera urupfu rw'umusore ku cyumweru warashwe agerageza gutabara umuturage wari wafashwe n'inzego z'umutekano za ICE. Akaba ari ya polisi ishinzwe umutekano, polisi ishinzwe abimukira. Ayo akaba ari amwe mu makuru yari agezweho ubu ngubu ari kuvugwa hirya no hino ku isi. Aho muri Leta Zunze Ubumwe za Amerika muri Oklahoma hakaba hari urubura, ubukonje, akaba ari guhangana no gusubiza amashanyarazi hamwe yagiye avaho. Thank you. Those was news update right now. Thank you. Have a nice day.